Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to that exciting and evening and amazing spectacular Propagandacast from your host Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero of like defender of the fatherland. Off here to a glorious 1v1 on Langraskaya in the north. It is eternal fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Here with the 23rd Mechanized Corps with Lend-Lease tactics, urban defense and advanced warfare tactics with guardsmen, anti-tank and mine bulletins, all for fast production by the way, also plus the penal troopers. Versus south, it is PFC fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here rolling out with the 1st Panzerdivision with Ostruben Doctrine, Lightning War, and Spearhead with infantry, Panzerfaust, and mine bulletins. And as always, a big hearty thank my patron supporters, my own personal company of heroes. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon and joining this illustrious elite, or you can donate by PayPal, also make me happy that way, obviously. Links in the video description. And I'll let you to comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, keep the YouTube's algorithm, of course, satisfied, and spread the word of the mighty Propagandacast. Eternally here committing to urban defense with fort headquarters, light anti-tank guns, the M42, 45 and anti-tank gun, shock troopers, booby traps, and the KV-2 tank. Penal troop squad out here for Eternal, the Strafniki equipped with the SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle. As for PFC, we got gunners MD-42 and another gunner squad there for PFC. MD-40 up in the centre here, as we got the other troops heading westwards, and gunners moving up eastwards here. So PFC going for a more aggressive approach here with the Wehrmacht. Obviously that works out against Eternal here and this Strafbad. Gunners and engineers there, grabbing these some fuel with the other engineer squad. 2nd gunner squad almost down there for PFC. Grabbing the munitions point here so far. Except for a few shots here and there, nothing significant in terms of engagements yet. 2nd gunner squad there for PFC. Units backing off, more penals on the other for Eternal. Waiting, I imagine, to get the right sort of critical mass of penals before making the attacks here on PFC, at least hoping to find a blind spot and the machine gun hit that one. Of course, he's not aware where the machine gun is yet. Using up the eastern side, gunner's got the clash for that. West side, we got the other gunners going up here so far. Not a lot going on between the two sides, just again lighter skirmishing. 2nd Strafniki, they're out there for Eternal. Penals are formed up usually of troops with the different kinds of factions within the military system. For example, tank crews that were caught abandoning their tanks without proper cause were typically sent to the penal battalions. Also, tank crews that had their tanks stolen by the tank crews that wanted to avoid being sent to the penal troopers would also be sent to the penal troopers. So yeah, there's some stuff there. Engineers versus Grenadiers. On the west, their point being seized. Ground the western victory point here. Depending on the role, the penals will be equipped differently. In particular for assault missions, they would typically like to be more heavily equipped than regular sword infantry. But again, they're also not expected to survive. 3rd penal squad for Eternal, flanking of the Grenadiers. Machinery positioning here. No doctrine for PFC, though the fact we're not seeing Ostruben right away indicates either Spearhead or Lightning War. So chance of a Tiger tank from PFC. 4th Grenadier squad, I think that likely indicates Lightning War here, since there's more likely to go for G for the fuse on them, since if you're going to go for that many Grenadiers, you're typically looking to upgrade them with something that packs a bit more of an offensive punch. Hey, flying around the car point here, Eternally having a bit of a hard time. We got the penal squad here, could flank here, course proper for the Pioneers. We got flames up just in time. 4th Grenadiers will run down here, pushing back the Grenadiers, but still got the machine gun there. That's getting outmaneuvered here now as Eternal charges forces, penal troopers there, surging ahead. PFC's lines here falling apart, buckling under the severe pressure of the Soviet infantry here. West side pimping with the Pioneers and center machine gun there, setting up to could be cleared out of the penal troopers. He's got he lacks the munitions there to pop self charge up, still gets past the air fire here, so they're already at the edges there of it, so they can't turn around in time there. A strong assault here by Eternal, completely throwing back PFC. His otherwise strong push there, turned around and turned again. So Moss getting wiped with the Pioneers, got that be huge here for Eternal to get the wipe here. Would be huge, but looks like that falls right out of his hands. Also grab the center point here, then needs the car point as well. If you can grab the center victory point, that's kind of the same. PFC ordering a counterattack immediately. His Grenadiers charged ahead. Comes coming in to counterattack, popping into the building. Bit risky. They could, of course, risk a satchel charge. That set Eternal is pretty much short of munitions. Munitions here. Almost got the center victory point. That's connecting all the resources here. Strafniki routed. Grab the center point here. And we got medics ready there for Eternal. Penals being reinforced with replacements. We'll of course have to see what Eternal does next. That said, I'm going to be relying on the light anti-tank here to deal with enemy armor. For PFC here, tech done. Can also now go for Lightning 1, go for the G33, so that's what it's intending. If, of course, being the operating word there. More reinforcements seen in there. Carve lost again. In this case, the center victory point. No sign yet of a doctor there from PFC. Pimps moving westwards. Troops reinforcing here back in the base for Eternal and the Red Army. Needs a bit up here, skirmishing with the Grenadiers there. Going to be a bit slow tech there than for Eternal here versus PFC. And there you go. M42 taking out there for Eternal. They actually saw usage quite late into the war. Though by the later stage, they're usually more part of defensive elements known as fortified regions. But they'd be set up in small ambush positions and then wait for the tanks to get close enough. They could just fire them at point blank range into the side armor and punch through there. So, little fun fact there. But they did see usage until the end of the war. Admittedly, so did some of the German light tankers like the Pak-37. But, you know, that was part of the also necessity, I guess. Anyways, G43 up. They do get lightning off from PFC. Thumbs up. Pimps being shot to bits by the Grenadiers, but ultimately are won by the sheer numbers. Also, fun fact about the G43. They actually copied the firing mechanism of the SV40 for the G33. So, little fun fact there on that front. They also had the G41, but there were some issues with the firing mechanism there on that one, which made it less desirable. Fun fact on that one, that was actually a Danish mechanism known as the Bang mechanism. And not because the sound Bang, but because Bang was a Danish surname. And the guy who invented it, I guess, was called something Bang. Fun fact there, by the way. Armoured car pushed back. MD4 to the penal troopers. Marines was there for the fuel point there. Good maneuver. PFC needs losing the western fuel point. Sees the east one instead. Strafniki routed. Pretty soon will be routed. One kill in the armoured car. Mines down there. Very good. Line 10 falling back a bit here. Bunker up there for PFC. With the medics on the way there. Good for flanking against MD42. I think PFC does realise what's going on. They try to get the machine to safety. Probably before hitting the retreat button there. He could, of course, try to set up here, but there's a chance if he gets caught in the wrong spot, he gets static charged and then loses it. Also, mine there from Eternal, not shabby. Oh, he's going to try it. He's going to try it. That seemed the Eternal, though, made a mistake of slightly. Oh no, mine doesn't work because again of that issue the machine gun has with the wide, the broad ends of the arc there. Mine off, and oh, he's going to go for the armored comes to the machine gun then with the static charge. There we go, got it. Quite painful there for PFC. Great kill for Eternal. But yeah, it's a bit of a bug there is for the MD42, and there doesn't seem like any answer as to why it does it. But in general, it also has this issues like targeting, like they're right in front of it. It can still take like seconds, but at the the very ends of the arc, the broadside there, it's or the wings, it takes quite a bit of while. Then units can basically sort of just slip past there. So there are some issues there with the MD42 in that sense, unfortunately. Grenadiers flanking about here. More G43s on the way there for PFC's Grenadier. Pioneers holding up here. We got troops taking 4 step back up at the M42, and we got another armored car for PFC. He wants those Panzer Spielwagen here versus Eternal and his verdammte Russen. Strafniki right by the Pioneers. Tank Reaper 10 coming up here for Eternal and the Red Army. Pioneers are close being wiped out though. G43 getting the engineers there. No upgrade yet. There on the west side, we got a point claimed here by Deutschland, and we got the T-Sin light tank here for Eternal and the Red Army. Pioneers is holding up here, grabbing the cut-off point there. T-70 halfway done. T-Sin Eastern point on the west side here with the Grenadiers, hitting a mine there, blowing apart Ludwig and Fritz. MD4 there we go. Cancel shots there, which the Soviets were great users of, at least in the early stages. But even some of the German early guns also acted as some sort of canister rounds, or fragmentation rounds. I actually think those fragmentation rounds the Soviets more used than canister shots, similar with the Germans. Gunners and Engineers, routed. Gunners and Penal from the east. Strafniki suppressed the M42 gunners pushing forwards. Got the T-Sin light tank rushing forwards here for Eternal and the Red Army. Goes with the penal troopers, about to get wiped out. Close being wiped out, you need to be careful with those Grenadiers. Setting up the M42 around the centre. Lacking an anti-tank, we need to see what PFC does to deal with this. I mean, he could go for more armored cars to deal with it. He could just get lucky. Of course, he could just go for the Pack 40. I don't think he's quite in the situation we just push ahead for, like, say, a Stugon Osman to maybe deal with it, or in the Panzer 4. For instance, a Westwing Mold in the centre. Got Hay finally is going to try and make another push in the car point, even as Eternal he's looking to crumble PFC's left flank. Got a back and forth action here. Also worth noting, we do get the side tech here for the support company. Probably for field guns, but it could also be for mortars here. That could also be a good addition here versus PFC's machine guns. Could be a very good addition. PFC can now go for the Pack 40, the Panzerabwehrkanone 40, which is basically what PAK means, and is an abbreviation of Panzerabwehrkanone. Similarly, Flak is an abbreviation of Flugzeug or Fliegerabwehrkanone. So little fun fact there if you wondered what Flak meant. Maximum way there for Eternal. Ground motion back 2 point here. Armored car is striking a bit too late, and we do get the Pack 40 for PFC and Deutschland here with the first Panzerdivision. Ground needs some victory point. We got 488 versus 389. Fix up the T-Sing light tank. The T-Sing is basically just a sort of mixed together model of the T-60 and the T-50, which for either a reconnaissance tank or an infantry support tank. They just simplified it, shall we say, centralized it, and just keep making something in those production lines. But in reality, the T-Sim is just more of a stopgap measure. Any spare T-60s and T-50s, I think, we actually use for other things, like, for example, I believe they actually mounted Katyusha rockets in some of them. That's a fun fact there. Invested in into the Grenadiers here, T-Sim going in as well there. When he's caught out in the open. East side here, we got the Pions being pushed back with the Armored Guard. Grenadiers as well there with the Gewehr 43. Machine Center in trouble. And here in the west, almost wiped there on PFC's Grenadiers. Bit painful. Could begin taking up soonish here versus Eternal, who's just pursuing the machine gun. Finished with the cannon in the west, but they are also in a dire situation here. And Eternal's looking to make it even worse here for PFC in the east. Armored car finding out they're still line taking their punching holes through the armored cars, well, armor. With some success here. Pions with the Grenadiers here. Vetri 2 there. Kills racking up on both sides, but the Pions looks like they're coming out in this quite a bit there. Flamekin's running, that's going to be, I think, a full retreat here. Flamethrower Pioneers, though, also running in the scene here. Forcing in the end, looks like Eternal back. Close call there, though. Pioneers right at season 40. 7 killed so far in the center. Indians won the victory point there. Fighting continues to burst back and forth here across most of the front line between Eternal and PFC. Neither side just losing control, I would say, focus, and just ending up hammering in, like, everything in terms of like 1 point, but actually, maintaining control, like maneuver across the entire map. This is really good. 2 thumbs up, by the way. Some players have a tendency at some point to just become very short-sighted, narrow-minded, and just start to like exclude most of the map just to focus on a single point. But so far, PFC and Eternal are avoiding this very nicely. Teams of the Grenadiers in the east, we got 7 kills, virtually 2. This 3 divisional feeling with Eternal, clearly worried about German armor. PFC is not making any sort of direct move towards, and there you go. Stielhandgranate being lobbed at the Strafniki. Got the T-Sing as well there. And that's retreat right now. The PFC's control both viewpoints, so this could be a great opportunity for Eternal to try and push ahead for some fast medium armor. It could also, as a first round, stall for the KB2, but that I think would be silly. In fact, would be about as silly if Eternal decides to just stall for the Tiger tank. But eventually they could go for some heavier armor, but I would recommend some medium armor before trying to push for the heavies. West side here we got the Grenadiers pushing back the Strafniki. Pioneers being as well. Got the armor car flashing forward in the centre. Grenadiers suppressed by the Maxim machine gun. Troops heading out there. Troop reinforcing healing. East side here Strafniki holding up. Attack there for PFC. Ground western point here.
The territory is out of contact.
Attack there for PFC. Film burning. East side of the armored car there versus the Pions looking to flank them off. And the center Pioneers was the Maxim machine gun. Western point mixes the Pioneers reclaiming the fuel for Deutschland. He's also finally taking up here. Sehr gut. As for Eternal, no sign of tech yet from him. Both sides would also think benefit from a mortar, maybe even two. Crossing up with the T-7 light tank here. East side, we got another temperature sort of break into the east. Then the west side, Eternal's definitely leveraging a larger scale assault here against PFC, though PFC's managed to bottle up somewhat here using the machine gun and the armoured car, slowing down the Eternal's progress. Instead of moving up there in the east, can east of us the Puma Troopers on either side, particularly the hell of that one. And they got the T-7 being immediately dispatched to plug up that assault. Tech done, can begin build the Supreme Core, push a Panther here versus Eternal. As for Eternal, still no tech. We do get some mines, plenty of them in fact, but PFC's Grenadiers are having none of that. Western fuel point was being claimed here as PFC's left side once more falls apart under Eternal's repeated attacks. We got the T-7 almost knocked out. Lines taking their hiding out, backed up with a maximum machine gun. Armoured car striking westwards. No support core yet there for PFC, and the armoured car there charges in the penal troopers here. 7 kills, close to 22, but without any anti-tank weapons, they are a bit at the mercy there of 2-2. Still nothing further going on there. And back in base for Eternal. Still no tech either, just reinforcement sealing and grumbling about vodka rations. And these listening up, they could try and go for the deep path, then go for the fuel point, sneaking up behind PFC, Eternal's lines. I think that's a good maneuver there with PFC. Looks like he is not doing that, but still, flanking a bit, but not safe for example, just taking a deeper path there, avoiding any potential maxims. Just going for the fuel point directly. Could have done that, but he probably wasn't expecting the maximum start the building there. So Pomacop for PFC, 2 thumbs up and go for the Panther Force soon. You could also consider popping something like relief infantry. To help deal with casualties, but also see allow them to push out a Panther Force pretty fast. Since that can also be used to boost production times now, so there's some utilities of that. And a fast Panther 4 could be something that could catch Eternal off guard, and particularly since Eternal is still nowhere close to any armour. It is starting to feel like here that Eternal might be looking to stall for the KV-2 heavy tank, which is something that PFC could exploit here with some aggressive tactics. And PFC certainly has an aggressive play. And these take on this was the Strafniki, and then go man to get past here and go for the fuel point directly. We've got the T-7 counter-attacking on the west side though, another push as well. Eternal certainly finding a lot of engagement, though, of course, so is PFC. Machine gun push back, got 396 with 366. Going for a wipe here, possibly in the gun these. We've got the Pack 40, no need to be seen in fact in space in the west. Panther 4 that's arriving here for PFC and the 1st Panzer Division. Could have run the scene here in the east to try and push back Eternal, or try and force a breakthrough there, or in the west. That's going to be the big question here for PFC. Where does he use the Panther 4 and how does he use it? Because we've got Panther 4 push right now, could give PFC an opening here versus Eternal. So it's into Eternal time to tank and to split up, so they can't easily focus on the Panther Force, so he just catches one of them off guard. That could give PFC a bit of a swing there versus Eternal. West side, Iconis is in the point, further west, more points being grabbed. Holding up here nicely, but acquired. Of course, one thing here with the heavy Puma build, Eternal's lacking his sandbags. He can't as easily, say, dig in and defend. In fact, he could consider going for a single conscript squad just for that. He could also just add in some shock troopers. As with PFC, some sandbags here and there that could be a good addition, or when he has the time, to make it easier for him to defend. Also worth noting, Eternal is floating a lot of munitions, so mines will also be a great idea, but also booby traps, to be honest. Definitely feel like there are some things here that Eternal could be doing a tiny bit better versus PFC. Got the mechanized armor company there going up, thumbs up to Eternal. Panther moving westwards. So there we go. Well, of course, we now go straight for the KV-2. I mean, in terms of resources, we're roughly 2 minutes away, so it's not impossible. Though again, it does have some risk depending on what PFC does. But once it hits, currently PFC's forces would struggle to deal with it. So again, it's not necessarily impossible. But you could also argue just going for T-34 soon. I mean, that PFC could also be in a bit of trouble here. But oh well, pushing forward here, they get great push by PFC, completely catching Eternal off guard. They're just not ready for this. Inconvenience Court wiped out. Great kill there for PFC. A stinging blow there to Eternal's moving in his anti-tank guns, field guns, and other stuff here to try and stop this attack. Cut-off points lost. Resource one from Cough. We got the Pimps up the flank here, though, catching some Eternal's or PFC's forces off guard. But the armored car that's on the scene, and we got the machine sitting up there. No self-charge, then to retreat here. Savage finding it. There you go. Pantherful down to health as both anti-tank guns punch through the frontal armor here. More shots, but most of them are missing now. And there you go. The Pantherful quickly pulls back behind the hedges, avoiding further fire there from Eternal's anti-tank weapons. Machine sitting up here, popping the incendiary piercing rounds. But that said, need to go for bombardments and whatnot. And I think it's PFC realizing the mistake here and also to retreat rather than risking the machine. At least the armor covers the Maxim, getting him close to the KV2. But that said, the car pawn there does delay the incoming KV2 there a bit, buying PFC more time for, well, whatever he's planning. That's it. What is he planning? Stooks, more Panther Force, Tiger Tank? Just do not know. These two, we got the armor car basically knocking the building out at this rate. Both sides, I think, still would benefit from a bit of light artillery. Strafnick moving forward to 16 kills. Ace-Lub, gun is being hammered out in the open. Defense is neu for them. Die Gewehr 43. Setting up from the base seat of PFC in the east side, we get the armor car fixing up the 2-2. Teason rolling ahead here, close to the ace level. Fixing that Panther forcing up the eastern side as a Grenadier. Comes from the west, Panther being fixed up there for Deutschland. Machine holding up, needs to push in there. Again, could quickly knock it out. The few place hot hits with the armored car. Then the building is slowly crumbling away. There you go. Larger scale sorting, pushing into the building there, hoping to knock it out. Teason rushing forwards. Limited support for this attack without any anti-tanks within easy reach, so the Teason could do some damage. But now Eternal is very close to the KV2 heavy tank here. He's got the fuel more or less now, just needs the manpower, which is a bit over a minute. We'll have to see what PFC does in the meanwhile. Will he now be trying to go for the Tiger tank himself, or will he try and go for the Tiger tank once he's hit by the KV2? There are a few options there for PFC. Can be certainly a bit tricky to determine there. More sandbags on the west, very good. Starting to leverage one of his advantages of his Eternal, and that is sandbags. When this was the Strafnicki there. He's also continuing to move on the flanks. He's not just trying to barge through where Eternal is most focused. He's got all his guns aimed. He's looking for weak spots, openings, and just looking to exploit them. So good play with PFC. 2 thumbs up. Eternal does find himself a bit more defensive as he is strong for the KV2. That also means he has to save a lot of manpower, which is also one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of these heavy tank assaults, because just having to save up so much manpower can really force you to just have to do nothing and actually concede a lot of initiative and just room to your opponent. Ooh, that's a wipe. Quick replacing that one. And he is in fact going for tier 4 here. I think he's sensing that, with the line to tanks, there's a KV2 on the way there. He hasn't seen any armor for quite some time now. We're at the 23-minute mark and not a single tank from his opponent. PFC know where the winds are blowing, and they're blowing in the direction of a heavy tank. So there you go. Eternal got the KV2 heavy tank out here. Not necessarily produced in large numbers. It was also a really expensive heavy tank, and overall didn't see servers, I think, for long. Rolling here with the KV2. Well, that said, it does have a very iconic, bulky look. It's a very distinct, heavy tank. Going some fire from the T-Sing, pushing it back. Machine gun on fire, there you go. KV2 pushing forward, shoots, and kind of whips on that one. But also bounces the shot over the Pack 40. Second bounce as well. Then needs to take him out of loss as Jürgen gets, blown to bits. These guys with the T-Sweep getting the ace on that one. KV2 running forwards here. 1 kill. Almost killed his own there. Hey, watch what you're shooting! You think I can see in this thing? Oh, well, probably not. He's using this another line to tank and punishing the entity over that, maybe. We got 348 was 285. But yeah, PFC definitely looks like he is strong for the Tiger tank now, hoping he can survive for that long. That said, Eternal's not having the easiest time of it either, so in fact it might be possible for PFC to then stall for the Tiger tank. KV2, they're taking it from the Pack 40 round through the side armour. Another shot there. Good for PFC, less good for Eternal. Left side, there could be more action, but he's starting to, I think, again, due to again having to just play defensive for so long, he's now more stuck in that position, so it's hard for him, I think, to get aggressive again here versus PFC, which is, you know, still great for PFC, as long as it doesn't mess up and, you know, concede initiative to Eternal. Which, of course, is going to be a bit tough here with him, you know, stalling for the target tank, but again, the way Eternal did his first, you know, again, there's a chance that PFC can make it work. Roughly a minute away there from the target tank, roughly. Give or take. Machine crew about to get wiped out by Eternal. And there you go. No message shown. Grenade offer killing a Porsche stuff back there. Got the gun easy with the assist videos from field gun. T-Slim gone away there. East level. Got the CoH2 being repaired with only 1 engineer squad. It's going to take a bit of time there for Eternal. He should consider more engineers to assist with the repairs of his heavy armor. Just 1 engineer squad is simply not as sufficient for this. Of course, PFC meanwhile has 2 pioneers for both what the army has got now, but also, of course, for the Tiger tank. So, thumbs up to PFC. Always make sure you have enough people to repair your armor, and there you go. Second engineer squad, the Eternal, and there the KB2 gets a great hit on the gun, shattering the cover and shattering Rudolph. Nice defense in, and the Panther 4 pushing it back. A few point once more hit. Supply lines disrupted. And the target tank is moments away here for PFC and for Deutschland. Back here, troops reinforcing healing, fixing up the KB2 heavy tank. Panther 4 there. Slowly approaching their T2. There we go. Target tank out. Equipped with an 88mm gun, semi-used on the Flak 88 gun. Adding the pin map machine as well there. Thumbs up. Fun fact about some of the earlier models for the Titan, but they had small S-mine launchers mounted on it to use against infantry, but there were, I believe, some issues with them, and so they've discontinued in favour of later the Nahverteidigungswaffe system. K2 is a target tank, 2 behemoths of steel clashing with each other. Target tank that's definitely not coming off great here of that one initially, still getting some good hits, but it's all taking some damage here from Eternal's anti-tank weapons and his heavy tank. Gunners went east and south, pushing back the Allied tank gun there. T-Sin rushing towards the east. Gunners with engineers. K2 rushing forward, direct hit there on the gunners, almost wiped them out. Quiet, fixing up the target tank. K2 could also do some light repairs. He's probably going to try and go for an anti or tank destroyer here to assist with the Tiger tank. Could give him a bit of an edge there. Feeling bombarding, going to use a bit of time, caught in their own S-mine field. That could get a bit spicy there for PFC. Also worth noting, he does have this dual close air support raised with a good push. He could possibly just decimate the tail there by, you know, just pushing ahead, using the air support to deal with KB2, and then using the Tiger tank, the Panther 4, and the Infantry to deal with everything else Eternal has. S-mine things down to alongside the Tiger tank to the Strafniki. 1 kill on the Tiger tank so far, 3 kills. Pum's was almost wiped out by the mighty Tiger. East side we got the Panther 4 lining up for something approaching a deep flank possibly. And I expect to see some sort of like large-scale assault here with super close air support to try and destroy Eternal in one glorious push for your Deutschland. Strafniki mounting up there, got another hit from the Tiger tank, got 4 kills. Maxim flying away there, halfway to the East level. Kills being fought into the MD-42. Closing in the medicines 1 there on the Tiger tank. And the Blitzkrieg ability. Panther 4 there in need of some repairs. But nothing significant. T-Sin spotting ahead there. Also note the anti on the flank. He's definitely concerned about the flank here from PFC. Now he just didn't think about it, I guess. That can also happen. Machine gun there, close to medicines 1, but also half health after direct shot from the KB2 target tank there holding back. Looks like it's going to go for the Shafar, of course, at this point of question. He doesn't want to go for there. Go Panther with support here, flanking here. Eternal Target tank remains support. There go S-Port called in. Should make the push over the target tanks. Well, Grenadiers just push forward for Deutschland. S-Port running down here. The Stuka Kanonen Vogel T-70 racing away. Their Luftwaffe narrowly avoids it. Failed to push in here, I think. But still, now that it's a full retreat, he can push ahead there. But I feel like you'd have made the push with the S-Port at the same time. Ron just calling the S-Port then push ahead. But I guess that might in some ways be safer for him. So. But I feel like, again, he just failed them to get opportunity to like destroy some most of Eternal's stuff and make it hard for them Eternal to launch a counterattack. Because with this, sure, he gets his opponent away with like no serious damage suffered, but at the same time, he doesn't inflict it either. So there's a possibility once the aircraft are gone that, Eternal just pushes in, at which point, it didn't really matter then. Target tank there taking some shots, but it's bouncing there with its 100mm thick frontal armor. In fact, the CIS-3 divisional field gun could not penetrate the Tiger tank's frontal armor at all. Even at close ranges, it struggled with the Tiger tank's 100mm thick armor. So, little fun fact there. Katyusha rocket launcher on there for Eternal. Grab these some fuel points for the Grenadier. Got the BM-13 Katyusha rocket truck out. Another Pack 40 there for PFC, another Panzerabwehrkanone 40. There's being snapped with the T's on the light tank. That will be pushed back closer to the 2, directly to the KV2 there, which gains veterans run the process, giving the Inspire veteran ability. Obviously, if he actually uses it, I doubt he will. He's going to be used to spot, not kill. Pack 4 and quality, but the KV2 being pushed back. Targeting on the flank here, threatening here. Eternal's only got 100 points left here for Eternal in the Red Army. Machine crew, they're being hammered by the mighty target tank here. Feel like PFC a bit more aggressive, but there you go. Pack crew down over the KV2 tank. Katyusha moving in there. Rockets screaming there through the skies. PFC's men, they're being mauled out in the open. Almost got the Pack 40 crew in there. Go exterminated. Target tank there's going to go for a flank, possibly getting veterans. One could not try and blitz ahead there for Deutschland field crew. They're being exposed to German fire. Machine in there, incendiary up his ground, but he's being absolutely decimated here by Eternal's heavier firepower there. Counter on the flank here, putting some pressure there on Eternal's forces there. We got 73 versus 348. Target tank there with 12 kills, veterans 2-1. Reinforcing healing. He's on the flank quad here with the Maxim. Pentagon this shoots whiffs. Very close between there. Got Pack 40 back in action here for PFC. At least the new one is. Target tank remains reserved here. PFC not waiting to commit it yet, but he's trying to figure out the most optimal angle which to strike Eternal. Eternal, meanwhile, is just looking to like breaks as much as he can in PFC's lines. He's lost back 2 points, needs to get them back fast, but he's taking losses. His T-70 just exploded right next to his KV2 tank. Pack crew there's almost been wiped out though. Close for 2-2, but PFC just keeps at the tank. There go Target tank, almost got the field gun here, and with that, it's getting a bit more dicey here for Eternal. KV2's almost knocked out. Target tank there. Could possibly go for it alongside the Panda 4. I mean, right now Eternal has 9 tank weapons left, meaning the KV2 is on its own against 2 sources of firepower plus the Pack 40, so there's a good chance just destroying it now here. There you go, almost got the KV2 tank, low on health. And the pressure is increasing with the Target tank close to 52, Panda 4, there is 52 now. Infantry being mauled, Maximum cleared out. Single bounce, there we go, Eternal just gives up, I believe. GG, game over, victory here for PFC, for Deutschland. For German engineering. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. We'll learn something from it. If you do subscribe, like, share, comment on it, and do you can donate or pledge on page support the Propagandacast. Keep the war effort going. So this is Imperial signing off. See you all another time, and cheers everyone.